A trip with a Trans-Siberian Railway is the fulfillment of a lifetime's dream. With a Zarengold, meaning Tsar's gold in German, a private train, it is a very comfortable and controlled atmosphere. A trip from Moscow to Beijing, almost 8,000 kilometers long and through 3 large cultures, Russia, Mongolia, and China. The trip from west to east starts in Moscow, with accommodation in style and a city tour full of atmosphere. A must, the subway of the Russian metropolis. The most important places of interest are pointed out to the Zarengold guests by tour guides. The adventure can begin. The Zarengold enters the Kazan railway station. What lies in store for the guests? There are compartments in the standard category with 2 beds. Nostalgic comfort coupes where 2 compartments share 1 shower room. There are railway cars similar to those Russian presidents used to travel on during the Soviet era. And newly built railway cars equipped with a lot of storage space, comfortable baths, and biological toilets. A novelty which has been introduced of late. The compartments in the Bolshoi category have their own private bath. What hits the eye is the love for detail and the elaborate equipment. It's an imposing team that is taking care of the traveler's well-being. Permanent tour guides that accompany the entire tour. Local tour guides at every station that the groups visit. Conductors for every railway car and more than 30 other employees that are taking care of the train. A highly committed team.
Ich heiße Alexander.
Seitdem haben wir nur Griechisch gelernt.
The trip from Kazan railway station in Moscow towards the east starts at kilometer 0. It first goes to Lake Baikal, in the heart of Siberia. The eye quickly gets used to the vastness of the Russian landscape. Crossing the Volga River. And the first station, which gave the starting station in Moscow its name, Kazan. Kazan is the country's Islamic capital, which is why a magnificent mosque was opened in 2005. A concert with young musicians as a special program. The trip continues. The guests make themselves comfortable in the Zarengold train. It has quickly become a home on wheels. The guests are looking forward to dinner. The food measures up to the standards of the Zarengold trip. Savory meals served in style. Up to 4 courses each, with a menu that changes on a daily basis, are offered for lunch and dinner. Conjured up by the kitchen team in a confined space. For breakfast, different side orders every day. And should it rain, the travelers study Russian without further ado. Or they just play games. Boredom does not exist. Next station, Novosibirsk, the capital of Western Siberia. It exudes worldliness and avant-garde flair, but also commitment to good old traditions. The new Russia can be found everywhere. Late in the evening, the trip continues. The train is driving into the night. The train is already more than 3,000 kilometers away from Moscow. The landscape is changing. Every day, the train manager reviews the experience made and prepares for the next excursion.
Und auf dem Weg durch Westsibirien werden uns bekannte Namen dann auch begegnen.
Since vodka is intrinsically tied to Russia, instructions are given on the drink secrets. First rule, never enjoy without a toast. The next morning, preparing for the new day. After more than 5,000 kilometers, the train reaches Irkutsk, the capital of eastern Siberia. Irkutsk was founded in the 17th century and prospered in the course of time due to fur trade and the exploitation of natural resources later on. Excursion to the taiga, the soul of Siberia. Its traditions have been preserved in Talchi. The entire environment provides for well-being. Typical for this trip, new experiences again and again. Here is a visit to a Russian family, learning about their life. But there is also time for reflective contemplations. Calm for stressed-out city slickers. And then, an absolute highlight, Lake Baikal. Boats are used to get to the train on the other side of the lake. From Port Baikal, the Tsar and Gold train is riding on the old decommissioned route of the Trans-Siberian along the lake. An unforgettable experience. And in order to top this off, there is an opportunity to swim in the lake. Tsar and Gold also means freedom. A picnic in the evening is also made possible. The private train at one of Russia's most beautiful places. Overnight stay at the lake shore included. The next morning, the second long leg of the trip begins through Mongolia to Beijing. The train is now heading south. And again through a completely different landscape. The Trans-Mongolian Railway is a single-way track. The Tsar and Gold train is pulled through the steppe by diesel locomotives. Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia's capital. City tour with the most important museums, Parliament Square, and the famous Gandan Monastery. And a real Mongolian barbecue in the evening. The next day, the next adventure. At the Nadam National Sports Festival, skills in wrestling, archery, and horse riding are put to the test. In what a scenery. Refueling in the Yort restaurant and returning to Ulaanbaatar. Almost 1/3 of the Mongolian population lives in the capital. The legendary Genghis Khan is majestically perched on horseback in front of the Parliament building. The square is the meeting point in Ulaanbaatar. Traveling on towards China and driving into the night again. The next morning, a special photo opportunity. A stop in the middle of the steppe. The local nomads are resourceful and bring their camels to the train as a special attraction. Shortly thereafter, the border is reached in Erlian. Farewell to the Russian train and checking in with a Chinese train. And then, after a few hours of riding, the final destination after a total distance of almost 8,000 kilometers, Beijing. The city with its numerous attractions, which you could explore for weeks. Tiananmen Square, the place where foreigners and locals meet. This is where you see a modern, open China. Visit to Beijing's Old Town. There is a hustle and bustle in the few sections of town that survived the reconstruction of the metropolis. Those who have seen the movie The Last Emperor may be familiar with the grand backdrop provided by the Forbidden City. The Great Wall of Badaling is close by. This building is certainly one of the most impressive of mankind. Visit to a city that is subject to change, with many new attractions, but also with its good old traditions.